Having safe and dependable horses in a busy city environment requires a lot of training. Today, we're going to give you a sneak peek at how we do this here at Redgate Farm. We believe that safe and trustworthy horses are developed over time through training and exposure to as many different experiences as possible. Regardless of whether we are dealing with a miniature horse, a formerly wild Mustang, or a giant draft horse, we look for opportunities to teach them that they can always depend on their driver to keep them safe, no matter what new sight, sound, surface, or smell they may encounter. For the purposes of this video, we will assume the horse is already trained to the basics of harnessing and hitching to equipment. My intent here is to show you a few of the steps we take to develop our horses into the reliable horses that we are well known for around the central Illinois area. Whether our customers desire a basic carriage ride through a local historic site, a wagon for a theatrical production, or live horses for an educational event, they can have confidence in the preparation we have done with our horses. Whenever we drive on public roads, we often encounter plastic bags, newspapers, and other pieces of trash blowing across the road and even under the horses. As a result, every horse on the farm goes through basic training to potentially scary items, such as plastic bags. We also teach them to accept ropes and other objects touching and bumping against their legs, feet, and belly. They are taught to listen to our cues and focus on the handler when nervous, and to stand still in order to make the object go away. This training always pays off later. Next, we introduce the horses to noises. Because we have a horse-powered farm, we have the ability to introduce a variety of sounds from farm equipment. Our driveway grader is great for noise training. We can introduce younger horses to it by hitching them alongside more seasoned horses, or hitch single horses to build their confidence. Our manure spreader is another option we use seasonally to introduce noises. We also make sure to get the horses comfortable with common sounds heard around a city, such as balloons popping and skateboards. Our children are always happy to help with noise training. Just like with things touching them, we teach the horses that if they get nervous, stopping is the best way to make the sound go away. We practice this concept repeatedly. Here's a great example of us introducing a new and noisy piece of equipment to a team.
As she drives, I'm going to try to bang this tool around the implement and make a bunch of noise, because when it starts going it makes noises. I want them to get used to those noises. This doesn't make a whole lot of noise until you engage the sickle bar. So they're really not reacting to anything right now. So, go ahead, Mama. So the noise of this sickle bar only happens when it's moving. So when she stops, I stop the noise. When she goes, I increase the noise. And that'll get him used to the sickle bar.
That's actually a technique we use a lot in our training. We want our horses to learn that if they get scared, if they stop, then they can relax. So when we introduce new equipment, very often we'll make noise when they move, we'll stop them, and we'll stop the noise. So it really conditions them that stopping is a way to be able to relax and back off on whatever's scaring them. All right, girls, get up.
When it's finally time to venture out onto the road, one of the first things we teach is that the horse can walk, trot, and even canter, and nothing will hurt him. While we don't make a habit of cantering in harness, we don't want a horse's first experience cantering to be when he is already spooked at something, and then have the noise of the hitch vehicle worsen that situation. By exposing the horse to the different speeds and vehicle noises early on, it becomes more natural to them. To really help prepare our horses for the heavy traffic and noises of a city, Sean and I team up. I drive the horses, and he drives our van, truck, or even our truck towing our trailer. He drives towards, behind, beside, and around the horses while honking his horn. Vehicles honking their horns and large vehicles such as buses and delivery trucks are a frequent issue we deal with when driving in cities. So we ensure the horses are totally comfortable with the sound and motion of vehicles before ever exposing them to heavier traffic. We have a lot of train tracks in our area, including in almost every city we work in. So it is also very important to introduce a horse to trains prior to taking them into the city. Here is a clip of a horse in training seeing a train for the first time. As you can see, the more training and exposure we give the horse in the early stages, the easier and safer the more advanced lessons like this are. After a horse is ready to drive into the city, we look for opportunities to expose them to new, interesting, or potentially scary situations. In this clip, we unexpectedly encountered a political rally involving a jeep convoy. But the horses handled it like professionals, always listening and paying attention to the driver. After we consider a horse trained and ready for carriage work in the city, we review lessons frequently. We also use farm work to advance their training further. For example, trenching and plowing are excellent ways to improve the horse's response to cues and walking in straight lines. As basic as this work is, we've found it significantly improves the horse's ability to walk straight down a narrow city lane, as well as improves their response to cues sent through the lines and bit between the driver and the horse. Another benefit of using horses for both carriage work and farm work is that we can keep them in harness regularly and frequently expose them to different stimuli. Pulling logs, for example, improves their work ethic while also making them happy to stop and stand patiently. They also become comfortable working in tight spaces. All of these are necessary skills for work in the city, but logging allows us to practice these skills and keep them fresh in the horses' minds without ever leaving the farm. Having well-trained horses makes everything we do safer and more enjoyable. It also increases the opportunities we have to use our horses in public. On several occasions, we have offered logging demonstrations complete with a chainsaw. We were once asked to bring our horse and carriage to a local zoo and drive around the grounds. This involved driving a narrow path within feet of enclosures containing predatory animals such as coyote, cougar, bobcats, wolverines, and many more. Thanks to training, our horse was able to do this in a safe and relaxed manner. So whether you are training your horse to drive for hobby or to provide an income, be sure to properly train it first, and then continue to review frequently. You can never predict exactly what challenges or potentially scary situations you may encounter. However, you can learn how your horses react in such situations, and the more you experience together, the better team you all become. Not only does this allow your horse to work without feeling stress or fear, but it allows all involved to feel safer and more relaxed, despite what might suddenly appear around the next corner.
Hey, thanks for watching. We love what we do, and if you'd like to help us out, we're trying to reach a goal right now. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. If you have, leave us a comment. We love to reply to those and learn from other people, and we hope we can spread the learning ourselves. Until then, have a Merry Christmas.